अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितान्तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So today is a very auspicious day for Vishwarupa Mahotsav. At the same time, Srila Prabhupada took sannyas diksha from Keshavji Maharaj, his godbrother, in Mathura. So today is also Bhadra Purnima. Bhadra Purnima has its own significance. Bhadra means auspiciousness. Today's Purnima, as such, the Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam. The auspicious rays of the full moon distributes welfare of the people. Vitaranam, distributing the welfare. Purnima by itself has a significance in our Vedic calendar. Amavasya is a day of austerity, but Purnima, it changes the mood altogether in rejoicefulness. So, Sri Krishna Sankirtanam has to be spread. Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. This is the first loka of our preference of our Sikshashtakam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's advent has been well documented in so many shastras, even in Srimad Bhagavatam. But it is for the common man to understand the appearance and activities of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How did he manifest, for what reasoning, as far as historical references are concerned? The transcendental nature of the absolute truth is recorded in the history also. Advent of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has been esoterically declared in Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna Varnam Trisha Krishnam. We know all this. But how to fix this for the general welfare of the people of the Kali Yuga? We have been studying the 3rd chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita, where the important reasons, external reasons for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be appearing has been described. Krishna is very thoughtful. He thinks for the welfare every day. And when he leaves the earthly Gokul to go back home in his own abode, Krishna Sudhamopagate Dharma Jnanadi Visa Kalau Nashta Drashamesha Purano Arko Adhuno Vida. Everything is condensedly spoken about Lord Shri Krishna and his messages and activities, how his followers, including 12 Mahajans, they accepted him, and how it's made available to people in general through Srimad Bhagavatam has been described. So, the same personality of Godhead appeared at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because he is always thinking of the welfare of people in general. And this is nicely explained by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami about the heart of Lord Shri Krishna. He said, I can send any incarnation to spread the holy name. Just like who appears to spread the holy name in every Kali Yuga, where it is said, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Iti Shodashakam Nam Kali Kalmashanashanam, Natar Parutaropaya Sarva Vedeshu Nadrashyate. Besides this is Brahma and Narad Muni speaking, but at the same time, it is valid for every Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is evidently coming, but not this Kali Yuga. This is special because Krishna appeared in one day of Brahma once. That is the 28th cycle of the Mahayuga, Chatusyuga combined, of Vaivasvat Muni, the 7th. And only on this particular Dwaparante, Krishna comes as he is. From Goloka Vrindavan, he brings his dham, his entourage, paraphernalia, everything he brings in. Even the dharma descends with him whenever he comes. But he appeared himself for the benefit of his pure devotees who were desiring to witness the childhood pastimes. Everybody wanted to take part in it, so he appeared 5,000 according to their happiness. And he fulfilled the desire of everyone in Vrindavan. But then when he left, he didn't think what will happen. He started thinking after he went back. So Krishna was thinking Oh my God, I have just come. Now, Kali Yuga has taken, it's my own time, but it is so disastrous that two extremes are being enacted within very short period of time. One is imbued the devotees with perfect love of God and their happiness and highest ecstasy, especially for the Brijvasis. Nobody can excel that. And Krishna can fulfill that. But after he left, Kali Yuga didn't wait. Means Krishna's own agent is trying to undo everything what Krishna did. What a drastic change. So, Lord Krishna says, aha, I didn't commit any mistake, but something is not fair. What will happen to the struggling living entities? They are bereft of yajna, dana, tapakriya, which is purifying. It is going to be completely demerited in Kali Yuga. Then, what will the hope? The holy name is there. But he said, I can send any incarnation to spread the holy name. That's not a big deal, because it's already established. But no, I want to go again. He thinks, I want to go again. But I will be spreading the holy name myself. I don't want to send any incarnation because it will be completely unfair. If the Supreme Personality of Godhead decides himself to spread the love of Godhead in reciprocation with his pure devotees only, and that too without any acknowledgement that here is the Supreme Personality of God. Only 5 to 8 people knew that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Means actually all the people were bereft of even that knowledge. Of course, unless and until they are purified enough, they can't have access to my transcendental nature. Right? So, Krishna was so thoughtful with the compassion for people of Kali Yuga. He decided to come himself, but not as the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. So he said, I have to go to teach them the loving devotional service through proper purification and reciprocation. And Krishna want to come. So he is appearing as some son of Sachi Devi. And there are so many quotations in the Shastras, different Shastras, that forecast for this particular age of Kali. Lord Krishna is returning to spread his own holy name. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is bent upon establishing this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, son of Sachi. He was called Vishwambhar. Vishwambhar is nobody else but the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But how to fix his position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the absolute truth, one without second. as he has already declared in end of Dwapara Yuga, when he appeared, is the same personality in the garb of a devotee. So the main objective of the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is to firmly convinced in appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Radha Krishna Nahi Anya. Because he is going to distribute love of Godhead through the holy name. And the lover and beloved of the highest ecstasy, they have become one. And they are going to offer the benefit to the people in general. Anarpitam charim chirat. For a long time this has not been offered to the people in general. How much long? By calculating all these years of the gap. For the common people. For pure devotees it was a different matter, but for the common people, this is the compassion. So from the very beginning, without exception, throughout the whole planet Earth, he wanted to distribute. That is a firm conviction. How to do will be unfolded gradually. And that glory of unfolding the secrets of the spreading the holy name through sannyas has been established in our sampradaya. So there is a long history. We know the first son of Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Devi was Vishwarup. He came into age and they were thinking of getting him married. He got completely dejected. He left the home without telling anybody and traveled throughout length and breadth of India. And the parents were devastated. But they reposed their attention more on Vishwambhara, with inherent fear that he may also leave. So, Jagannath Mishra left his body in separation from Vishwarup, and Mother Sachi has to take the burden of getting Vishwambhara also married. Because of the fear, he will go away, then who will be for us? So the early 24 years as a householder life, Vishwambhara was busy in preaching the different aspects of Arthakam through Nyaya, logic, and something like economics, Arthashastra, like that. He was expert. He was running a school and maintaining the family. Mother Lakshmi Priya left the body while he went on the pretext of oblations to Jagannath Mishra in Gaya. But the Lord knew he has to now transform his entire activity in establishing the holy name as the summum bonum of dharma, the yoga dharma has to be established. So he got initiated by Ishwar Puri. We know that story. But then we see, seeing the sudden change in the approach of preaching, he himself was so much absorbed in his own name that he would exhibit the highest ecstatic results. But how that can be distributed throughout when people are not even practicing chanting Hare Krishna? So, luckily he converted Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, a Mayavadi, into a pure devotee. At least starting from that the holy name will liberate you. So he became the Acharya of liberation, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu convinced him to chant Hare Krishna. And he became his ardent follower, that we know that. Now, it's very important that Vishwarupa left home and was traveling all over, and he came to Pandharpur after taking Diksha from Aranya sect of Adi Shankara. Aranya sect of Adi Shankara. And that sannyas name is Shankararanya. Shankaranya. So Shankararanya was his name. And he spent his lifetime as a sannyasi in Pandharpur. And his samadhi was there. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not know. He knew that his brother took sannyas, and that too from Aranya sect of Shankara. So, seeing all this geopolitical situation, why? Because in Vaishnava Sampradaya, our Vishnu Swami sect from Rudra Sampradaya was giving Tridandi sannyas. All right? But we know the story of Vallabha Bhatta and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and there was a conflict of the fidelity to the previous acharyas, right? The attitude of a devotee should be humble enough, even though however eruditeship he has. So Vallabha Bhatta was given, after reconciliation, the position of an acharya in Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was following. But at the same time, there was another offer came from Vishnu Swami Sampradaya, because after Vishnu Swami, there was nobody to take care. And Vallabha Bhatta was a grahastha. So, a grahastha cannot award anybody sannyas. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, got the clue. Otherwise, there are 5 things forbidden in Kali Yuga by the Shastric injunction. That Ashvamedham, Gavavalambam, Pitru sannyasam pitrupalakai. Devarena sutotpatti pancha kalau varjay. Five things are forbidden. Ashwamedha yajna is forbidden in Kali Yuga. Gavavalambam means Gomedha yajna is forbidden too. Then offering oblations to the forefather with flashy offerings is forbidden. No flash. Sannyasam is forbidden. And begetting children in brother's wife is forbidden. Because these are the Shastric injunction. How can sannyas be taken? But Vishwarup paved the way for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I mean Vishwambhara. His brother paved the way. He took in Aranya Sampradaya of one of the sects of Adi Shankara. So therefore his name was Shankaranan. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Bharati Sampradaya, another sect of Adi Shankara. And convinced. But Vishwambhara has to become a brahmachari first to get sannyas. So he stayed with his guru. He was given the name Chaitanya. So from that onwards, when he became the disciple, for the sannyas disciple, Madhavendra Puri, Ishwar Puri, they are coming from Tattvavadis before, but they were imbued with love of Godhead, of Radha Krishna worship. All right? And yet they are sannyasis, but at the same time they were not dandi sannyasis. So Ishwar Puri could not give him a sannyas, tridandi sannyas. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted ekadandi sannyas from Keshav Bharati. Is it Keshav Bharati? Keshav Bharati itself. So we see this is the geopolitical situation. The only aim for sannyas is to preach the glories of the holy name, and that sannyas being a respected ashram that was re-established by Adi Shankara through the Vedic authority. That Shreya or the credit goes to Adi Shankara to re-establish the Vedic authority. So people will respect a sannyasi, but he is preaching the glories of the holy name alone. So when he received the sannyas, there were terrible uproar. He did not let Mother Sachimata or Vishnupriya know. He left home. So when he received the danda, his name was Krishna Chaitanya. So our Vishwambhar, of course it's a transcendental name, he maintains the entire creation. now has come back of what is the sustenance of all the living entities who are conscious, that Krishna consciousness is the real maintenance, and it can be invoked by chanting His holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. So in this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started the sannyas dharma by traveling and preaching. And immediately he wanted to go to Vrindavan because his ecstasies were uncheckable. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu and Advaita Acharya dissuaded him and brought him to meet his mother. How much cruel can he be? Now, these are loving sentiments, these are not material sentiments. So we have to distinguish this. Because of that Ekadanda was given to him, Nityananda Prabhu didn't like, and he broke it on the way. What is this? Why do you need to carry even one danda? Tridandi is, but you do not need. My dear Lord, you are Supreme Personality of Godhead yourself. You are the most renounced person. You don't need danda. Such arguments were going back and forth, but he did it. So this was a political ploy. No, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became apparently angry with Nityananda Prabhu. Why did you broke my danda? But that will create so much joy in both Nityananda Prabhu and Advaita Acharya that ultimately they have to say, my dear Lord, forget the danda. In Vrindavan there are no dandi sannyasis. You are going to Vrindavan. Why do you need to carry a danda? You are Krishna yourself. And he was not a sannyasi. You have a mood of adopting a sannyasi. So in this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embarked on distributing the love of Godhead through the holy name. He himself became the example for chanting the holy name and its effects. The highest effect of the separation from the Lord was demonstrated by him. And only Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Rai can understand this. So there are gradual developments of this transcendental ecstasies to be observed during the sannyas vows and activities. Now, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was traveling back and forth. He came back from Vrindavan. Rupa Goswami and Anupam met in Dasashvamesh Ghat and instructed them to go back. Sanatan Goswami, another instant, he met him at Varanasi and Chandrasekhar home, and he instructed and told him to go to Vrindavan. Right? So he started instructing his stalwart disciples with chanting, excavating, and the historical places of pastimes and Vrindavan area. Resurrect temples, because deities are there. The time era was the Buddhist period, was so much proliferating in northern India, including Mathura. We cannot find 5,000-year-old relics. Very few, if there are. In Mathura Museum. What is that area called? Dingle? Yeah, in the center of the Mathura city. There is a big museum. You'll find mostly during Ashoka period the Buddhist relics. Then the Goswamis did the job according to that and re-established the glories of Vrindavan. There's a big history. Nobody can deny that. So in this way, we see the Krishna conscious movement enunciated by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through chanting of the holy name has spread with a tag. Only those who have some good discriminating intelligence, they will worship. Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam Sangopanga Astra Parshadai Yagyaihi Sankirtanam Prahi Yajanti Sumedasa. So only Sumedasas are here to do proper and desirable worship according to our standard in Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. And ISKCON is bent upon carrying that out. Now, it's not coincidental that Srila Prabhupada also took sannyas on this day. Srila Prabhupada was so busy and prodigiously writing, translating the books. I think at that time he was not in Radha Damodar temple, but I think Radha Gopinath Gera or some. Prior to. No. And he was working hard. He was visiting his godbrothers. But Prabhupada, after arriving in USA, the Tirobhav Tithi of Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj was coming. And he was speaking in glorification. He is my god brother, he pulled me out. And he was crying for him. There's nobody more well-wisher. My spiritual master sent him to pull me out from this horrible material world. He glorifies Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj. Now, see, the sentimental developments in spiritual ecstasy is a different thing. We have to value. A sannyasi is not supposed to be hard-hearted person. He can be both. Soft like a rose petal and hard like thunderbolts. Thunderbolt means when the principles of observance of spiritual etiquette is not done, then one has to become like a thunderbolt. Corrective measures are immediately necessary. But as far as the obligations of God brothers who helped one to rise and push forward, like they are giving him blessings to go further for the purpose, got sannyas. And from that day onward, I mean, have you seen the photograph of sannyas day with one of his god brother, Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj gave 2 initiations on this day. And how Srila Prabhupada is, having his chest forward and very, not stern, but very determined demeanor. If we look into the photograph itself, and how Prabhupada was soft within himself. So this is the character of a bona fide acharya who is perfect in all aspects. Where to show the humility and where to show the steadfastness, of commitment. Both are simultaneously exhibited by true sannyasi. So, Srila Prabhupada physically was completely incapacitated, in old age, but his internal strength was tremendous. At the same time, he remained completely humble on his own. There is no capacity that he will do, able to preach. But still became more and more dependent. 100% dependency was felt when he went abroad. There was nobody to help him. Free passage on Jaladuta. It's in relation, it is a historical thing that he got it, and he never hesitated. Oh, madam, the jet airs are flying out. I can reach in no time. And she could have afforded. Sumati Morarji could have afforded the money, the ticket, free passage in a plane. But this is the history. The jet planes, 10 years before Srila Prabhupada left, were in complete, they started in 1954. And Prabhupada left in 65. 10 years gap is there. And that too in a, not an updated version of a cargo ship. This is an old second-hand purchased by Scindia Steam Navigation, Jaladut. But because Prabhupada, the pure devotee, is traveling, everything became glorious. Even the Jaladut became famous. Because Srila Prabhupada traveled in the ship. Because Srila Prabhupada built this temple became famous. Like that. So you can see the transformations. If we have to realize, all the glories goes to Srila Prabhupada. So such potencies of however little of a fraction of a second's association with a pure devotee with such commitment is there. You can transform everything. साधु संग साधु संग साधु संग सर्व शास्त्र को है, लव मात्र साधु संग सर्व सिद्धि को है. 3 lovers make 1 second. So this is a fraction of second. How much association do you need? It doesn't discourage you not to associate. But for the purpose, the association is valuable. That is pure spiritual invocation in our life that transforms our life. Otherwise, we are all hearing piously different names of Krishna. They are all meritorious, but could not purify enough. Even initiated devotees struggle in chanting the holy name. They are in, say, a reasonable time in contact with the holy name, but why there is no transformation? Because we don't care for purification. Therefore, there will not be transformation. So, Srila Prabhupada took sannyas on this auspicious day, Bhadra Purnima. And ISKCON has now Bhadra Purnima celebration to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam sets. Why? Because it is the only beneficiary instrument in the hands of ISKCON. So celebrations. Srila Prabhupada translated Srimad Bhagavatam, most of it. He establishes the principle upon which we need to develop the perfect, pure sentiments of love of Godhead gradually. If we are able to do within this lifetime, it will be very auspicious for the world. So, thank you very much. Anybody has any question or comments? Yes. One more thing I would like to say. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu traveled to South India and then came up to Pandharpur, at that time he stayed at a Brahman's house that he invited him to take prasadam. And during that he informed him that is a very nice Vaishnava named Rangapuri has arrived. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu understood that he must be the disciple of Madhavendra Puri. So he went and paid obeisances, Dandavat, and Rangapuri was observing him. And he also got up and picked him up, embraced him. They had ecstatic symptoms of pure love. Romanchakam Pashruta Rangabhaja. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke to him, and Rangapuri was responding him. He said, oh, you are from Navadvip. I went to Navadvip one time, and I know Jagannath Mishra, and His wife had two sons. The first son came here, Shankarananya, and his samadhi is here. And hearing this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's demeanor completely changed. He said, in my Purvashram, Jagannath Mishra was my father, Sachimata is my mother, and Shankarananya was my elder brother. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to him. And there was acknowledgement, but at the same time, complete, distancing on the physical level. The talk did not go further. Then he went and met Tukaram, and Saint Tukaram's devotional service, he initiated him, etc. That is recorded. But the point is that here we understand that how come a sannyasi is so much detached from the transcendental family to set up an example. All right, so I will take the questions. Can you send the... Oh.
You were mentioning about all the sacrifices were stopped last year and everything was stopped. So in 5,000 years before everything was going on.
Yes. Right.
5,000 years everything was stopped. How is it like that? Why is
Because the Brahmanas became corrupt. Din Shringi got corrupted by Kali. So degradation of Brahman community disqualifies to perform any of this. The purpose is not retained. Otherwise, in this yagyas, Gomeda Yagya, Ashwamedha Yagya, Prabhupada said that it is meant for giving another life. And they were proving it. Now they are eating it and can't prove. So what is the use? Yes, mother. Yeah.
Thank you. I would like to know what are the different rules for becoming sannyas. What are the different rules? What to do, what to not do?
Can you, somebody?
What do a sannyas more than another person? What do you do more when you take sannyas? Have you some rules and regulation different?
The purpose is to travel and preach, but we have to understand.
So you don't stay in the house of people or Yashta or
No, not to.
Practically, what you do, what you don't do.
He has to live and preach. But today, some compromises are done. The service is designated by the Guru. So if he wants a sannyas candidate to engage in managerial activity, he may be allowed, but how long? It's a time-being factor only. One cannot be overloaded for nitty-gritty management services. But at the same time, we see sannyas basically has been taken to travel and preach and propagate the cult of Krishna consciousness by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Does that answer? Okay.
It's more, like example, when we are brahmachari or but a brahmachari he don't do to speak with opposite sex outside the service. He don't go in the house of Yashta without speaking about Krishna. There are some practical things to not
Shastra dictates.
Protection of bhakti. How to protect, how the sannyas protect his bhakti.
No, but the Shastra is the final authority, and the spiritual master is next. The spiritual master gets the guidance from the governing body commission and the establishment of the standards. And they do not compromise with the Shastras, but at the same time, they can preach. But it is better that their protection is looked into, the physical protection is looked into the priority. Prabhupada would say, our ladies are liberated. They are engaged in different activities, but they do not say, Prabhupada is going to Japan, I want to go to Japan and do the preaching. No, it is risky.
So we follow many instructions of guidance.
Definitely. But there are exceptional cases also which were also requested not to go, but some of my good God sisters, especially I'm talking of Ladini Mataji, she left New Vrindavan and went to Liberia, and we know the story. The zeal will be there, but at the same time, bodily conception will obstruct. Then she was liberated, but others were not. The one she was feeding, they shot her, and they were rebellious groups. This happened in anybody knows contemporary. So we have to be very careful. She had a zeal. The rebellion group, rounded up the devotees right after Mangalarti, took them to the riverbed, and Ladini followed. And the guy said, about 4 devotees were there, all male devotees. But she came in front of them and got shot first. And she told, if you have to kill them, you kill me first. Like that. So the idea is that it is not going to be a generalized principle. There will be exceptions, but exception is not the rule. Remain protected, and Krishna will bless you. Anything else to be discussed? Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki